Hello everyone, this is Angela here, and today is Halloween, October the 31st. Happy Halloween to everyone who's out there. I feel really good today. I hope everyone is doing well. Um, and today I wanted to talk about what I had said that I was going to talk about in my post about a month ago. I apologize for getting to this video for so long, but my work schedule is really crazy. And I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I hope that you are doing well. This channel talks about a lot of things. Basically, my channel is about me coping with my dysfunctional family and talk about my experiences with my narcissistic mother. And, all that. I went through that whole period. And that whole chapter is over. I've turned the page. I forgave my mom and moved on. Okay. So now I want to talk about setting boundaries in relationships and having standards and making yourself a priority in your life. Okay. Setting boundaries is about showing the world that you are a person who has standards, who is not going to allow someone to use you as a doormat or treat you badly. And sometimes people violate boundaries without meaning to. It's not always narcissists who violate boundaries. Sometimes I do it myself. We all do it without really meaning to. Maybe, there have been times where I would text people a lot and annoy them, and I knew that that was something that I had to work on. But I've always made the people who I've texted, a lot, understand that I don't expect an immediate response. Okay. I always understand that maybe they're in the middle of something, and you always got to be careful when you text. I really don't recommend long conversations. I really don't have like conversations with text messages. I just use texting as a way to inform somebody about what's going on, not so much about having back and forth conversations with someone. But that's just me. I knew that it was something that I needed to work on within myself, and I have. Okay, so now getting back to standards and boundaries. Having boundaries means that, especially in intimate relationships, it's really important. And I wanted to just share some tips that I've read in some books. One book I read was called Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man by author Steve Harvey. And a lot of people know most people know who Steve Harvey is. He's a comedian. He hosts Family Feud. He's written books. And he wrote that book about trying to help women with relationships. And one of the things that stuck out that he said was when he met his wife Marjorie, he was still doing his thing, and he was talking to other women while she was in another room, and she caught on that he wasn't paying attention to her and wasn't taking her seriously. And she had packed her bags and said, when, and I'm not quoting this, I'm just saying this is what I read, but I'm not quoting verbatim. She basically said, when you're ready to get your act together and, uh, then call me, okay? Because I'm not really on board with you and your friends, okay? She was pissed off, and she, had her bags packed and she was walking out the door. That showed him that she wasn't going to tolerate his behavior of whatever it is he was doing, whether he was just not paying attention to her or being a philanderer. I don't know, okay? It's been a long time since I read that book. So, you ladies may want to check that one out. I thought it was a good thing. Another thing I want to say is another way of setting boundaries is what I told this guy who I thought was a narcissist, okay, who I met online, and this guy was trying to tell me that I didn't like the beach because I don't live down there. No, I don't like the beach because I don't like the beach, okay? I burn really easy, so I don't really want to be out in the sun all day because I'm very fair skinned. And I don't like being bit up by sandflies, and I don't really like the seaweed, okay? I mean, if we were on vacation to a tropical island, that would be different. But to spend all day, every weekend, in the summer down the shore is not my thing, okay? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it if that's what you like to do, but it's not my thing. And this guy was trying to tell me, well, it's because you don't live in there. You know what I'm saying? Don't let anybody tell you that you like something when you really don't. Okay. Another way of setting boundaries is by expressing when you don't like something. Which is just what I said. It could be food, okay? Let's just say you don't like Chinese food. I don't like Chinese food, okay? I don't like it. And if somebody, tries to coax you and say, oh, that's because you didn't try this restaurant and they make amazing Chinese food and you need to try it and I know that you'll love it. No, you don't like Chinese food, and you need to make that person understand I don't like Chinese food. So that's what you call setting a boundary. Okay. Um, Another way to set boundaries is in relationships is learn to recognize when you're being disrespected. So I'm going to tell you a story that I read out of this book called Why Men Love Bitches. Okay. And bitch stands for babe in control of herself. That's what the word bitch stands for. It's not meant to be like a person who's a jerk. Okay. So that book was written by Sherry Argove, okay? And you can find these books on Amazon. I highly recommend them. And basically, the title underneath the front page of the cover says, From Doormat to Dream Girl. I don't have these books in my possession because I've loaned them out to people and I've never got them back. So I just got tired of buying them. So I don't loan books out anymore. And basically, Sherry had told this story about how to recognize when you're being disrespected. And the story goes like this. This woman liked the doctor, okay? And this doctor wasn't really into her, okay? He had hit it a couple times and, she thought that they were connected. And this is why it's very important to hold off on the sex because, you got to respect your own virtue, ladies, okay? Respect your own virtue. And so she was really connected to this guy and really, really trying to show this man how good of a woman that she was and that she really was trying too hard to get this man to be committed to her. So she tells this doctor that, she invites him to dinner and he says, yeah, okay, what day? And she's like, how about next Thursday at 6:00? And he says, okay, sure. So, after a couple days, okay, after about a day or two, he thinks about it and he's like, oh, I don't want to go to this woman. She's like, and he's thinking in his mind, oh, she's needy. I don't want to be with her. So what he does was he offers to switch schedules with another doctor so he could come up with an excuse to blow him off. And what happened was the doctor, the day Thursday comes around and the woman cooks all this amazing food and she's waiting for her doctor, quote unquote, boyfriend, who he's not really, to come over and have dinner. So after she goes through all that trouble preparing that food, he calls her at around 8:00. Dinner was supposed to be at 6:00, and says to her, Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. No, he calls her at 5:30. Sorry, and dinner is supposed to be at 6. And he says to her, "Oh, I can't tonight. Um, another doctor called out, and I had to. I had to take. I had to fill in for him." So what does she do? She says, "Oh, that's all right. I mean, oh, that's all right. I'll, we could do it next Thursday or Friday, and, I'll cook the meal again." That is how a needy woman would respond. But a strong woman whose self-confidence would say, "Gee, I'm really sorry that you didn't make it. The food was delicious." And don't invite him again. Why? Because he disrespected you and not telling you that he had switched schedules with the doctor and didn't respect the fact that you went through all that trouble. Okay? And let's just say, even if it was an emergency and he had a legitimate reason to do that, he owes you, okay, for putting in your time and effort and not being available. A good guy would say, "You know what? I am so sorry that you went through all that trouble. Let me make it up to you. Let's go out to dinner and then plan a nice dinner to take you out to dinner to an expensive restaurant." That's how a guy who really, really cares about you will treat you. Okay? So the moral of the story is, don't let a man disrespect you and then give him another chance. And if that's ever happened to you, because it has happened to me too many times, okay, because I really didn't understand dating and relationships. I grew up in a toxic home environment, and I had to go through a lot of therapy in order to work on myself, okay, because part of it was their fault, but part of it was my fault because I didn't set boundaries. And that's what's important, setting boundaries. Okay. Don't let somebody tell you what food you like. Don't let somebody tell you why you don't want to go to a beach or whatever. Don't let somebody treat you like a doormat. Don't let somebody disrespect you, especially if you're going out of your way for them. And don't ever chase somebody. Don't ever, give your all to someone who hasn't even shown really any interest in you. Seriously. You got to remember something, folks, that love takes time. And from a woman's perspective, and I say this very humbly and very respectfully, women tend to get emotionally connected after sex. Men don't. It doesn't mean that they're not capable of feeling, okay? It's just that men, um, you know, they're just different. They're not, their masculinity is different than femininity. Some men are more feminine, but usually that's in homosexual relationships. But from my experience as a mature woman who's in her 50s, okay, a man does not emotionally bond as quick as a woman does. They can walk away easier. That's why it's like, it's always in your best interest to guard your heart by respecting your virtue. Don't give it all away until he's proven to you that he's committed to you. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. How many of us have been there? Me. But the key is, it's okay that you've made these mistakes. You just have to learn from them. And it's all part of learning and growing. So with that said, I'm going to end this video. You see my kitty cats in the background. Let me know what you think, everyone. And I hope you all have a happy Halloween and a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.